Sharding application to MongoDB is beyond the scope of this course. However, I will walk you through having a fundamental idea of what sharding is and how it works. This is important in case you want to transit into sharded server setup. Before we start, if you like this video and want more tutorials about data science and big data concepts, I invite you to subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell. Now, let's dive in. Sharding is the concept of breaking up your data across multiple servers. This can be helpful performance and overall infrastructure. So, instead of scaling up your data grow, for example, investing in buying much bigger servers, you can scale it across multiple servers. You can also spread things out, for example, if you need more disk space, but not much RAM. You can also spread things out, for example, if you need more disk space, but not much RAM. You can max out your disk and save money elsewhere. Now, partitioning is also permitted on other databases. However, it requires a lot of manual setup and interventions that can be pretty complicated. With MongoDB, you can auto-shred your data, which is awesome. Before we continue, it is important to understand why the ability to use sharding is very cool. It is one of the most complicated concepts and setups in MongoDB. So, for many basic and even moderate MongoDB setup, all you can need is a replica set. Nonetheless, let's discuss the aspect of clustering in MongoDB, which is how we refer to server setup of a sharded database. Let's briefly align the difference between sharding and replication. So sharding takes your data and break it up among multiple servers. This differs from replica set, which is a copy of your data on multiple servers. In a replica set, when you connect, your queries are automatically delegated to one of the members on the set. This works great since each member has a copy of all the data. So, how MongoDB handles sharding and when the data might be broken into multiple servers. To do this, we use another process called MongoS, not MongoD. This process works like a router. It contains something like a table of contents to keep track of where data is. It does this by using something called a shard key, along with the configuration servers, which we will explain more later. So, when you connect the send queries to MongoDB, MongoS will handle looking up and finding where the data is, get it from the right server, and merge the data together if it is split up on multiple servers. The best part of this is all of these are done under the cover, and MongoD acts like it's a normal querying connection. You don't need to do anything special on the application side. Your client connects to MongoS, and the configuration server here, showing with a replica set, keeps track of where the data is, and the other replica set, showing here, store the data. We already explained it in the previous video how we should use replica sets for our data, and the same goes for configuration server, since they store where your data lives. If you lost that table of contents, you'd have to manually reconstruct it, which will be a nightmare. So, run a replica set for your configuration servers and back it up often. The good part is it's only a small amount of data. So, how MongoDB shard this data? The first thing you need to do is enable sharding on your database, and then tell it a collection you'd like to shard, as well as the shard key. MongoDB will use the shard key to break up your data. The key needs to be something that could be indexed, because it's basically an index. So, imagine this example. We have all our movies here ordered by title, all sorted together. Alive, Eternals, House of Gucci, Forgotten, Spider-Man No Way Home, The Call, The Conjuring, and Venom. If we choose the movie title as the shard key, MongoDB will break it up by title, so something like this. Now, our movie data is broken up to 4 shards. In this case, all eventually spread out with 3 recipes in each. In this case, all eventually spread up with 2 movies in each. Now in reality, there probably be thousands of shards, depending on the way you break up your data. As we add more movies, MongoDB will look at the shard key and add the movie to the crack shard. If a shard is getting too big, it's called imbalance. It will automatically split up the shard into 2 or more new shards. You can also use the ID as the shard key, and your data will be sharded by document creation date. You can also use a compound shard key like a compound index, but you should make sure that it matches the type of queries you're making, or that could be non-optimal. So, note that the location data which shard is stored in the configuration server, and MongoDB does all of this automatically and behind the scenes in most cases. You don't have to change a thing about your application code. So, now you know everything about sharding in MongoDB and how it works. If you liked this video and found it informative, I invite you to subscribe to the channel and leave a comment below. In the next video, we will talk about authentication and authorization. Thanks for watching and stay safe.